not gonna be able to land down below. Like,
That was the one thing that came to mind is, let's be careful which field we land in.
you know,
What's that for?
I just turned this one on.
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to call to order the Beaver County Board of Commissioners work session for Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. A review of work session discussion meeting minutes. Good. All right. Department head report.
Good morning, just a quick update. New boiler units for the human service building are in this week. Hopefully we get that scheduled to have that work completed next week. And I got word that the rooftop units that we have been waiting, that they said were gonna be 56 weeks, which are now like a million weeks or whatever. But the estimated delivery date on those is February 3rd.
Will we have to work with Beaver Falls and shutting any kind of road down for crane, or will they be able to do it from the parking lot?
Probably gonna have to close down that alley that goes between the parking lot and the human service building that comes out.
Okay.
After the restaurant.
Oh, on the left, if you're looking at the building, the left side. Okay. Just keep.
I don't think anything will be, we haven't worried about anything else.
Okay. I wasn't sure the front or the right side of the building, because just keep that in mind. I mean, they will, I'm sure.
Sorry. That's all I have.
Dan and I talked just briefly this morning before the meeting. He's gonna look at purchasing some, would you call it radiant heaters for the entryway here for the sheriff's deputies out there, so that they don't.
And Kelly.
Yeah, and Kelly, yeah. And Kelly's is already ordered out front there.
I talked to her. Yeah.
But it's also for the residents who come in as well, almost like you're walking in the Walmart or one of the big department stores, how they have the heater right above the blower. So maybe next week you could let us know if you find anything for them.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we don't get any cold weather like this rest of the year.
Are they dual? Do they actually cool as well as heat, or are they just heat?
I don't know.
I'm not familiar if they do anything with the cooling. I can check.
I've seen them in like conference centers
Yeah.
and hotels and different things where they.
Controller?
Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update. I know we've been talking about the mine storage and stuff like that. So I was able to pull all that we have there. I'm in the process of analyzing that. I'll have a report for you guys. I'll report for all the departments on what they have there. I'm also going through and looking at record retention and gonna make recommendations to the departments on what I think they could destroy as of now, but they get to make the decision. But at least we can look at what we have there, what we think we need. Come to discover though, we're paying $5,000 a month for 4 offices to do some type of digital storage. I think it's assessment, domestics, things like that, and that is like $5,000 every month. So I need to look into what that's for, because that might not go away. I don't know if it's like our foul bridge or something like that, but we have 4 departments that we pay $1,273 every month for each of them to.
For digital.
Yeah, the mines, and I'm not sure.
With an outside agency or
Sorry?
connected with the mines or with an outside agency?
Paying them to the mines company. So I don't know if
Really?
they're scanning for us or what, but 4 departments use them and we pay them monthly. I did not know about that bill
I
until
haven't seen that.
Echo showed me or sent me.
Yeah, there's a lot of like attached bills to the original contract of whatever space.
Yeah,
So
that's
you,
right. But the actual storage, I'll work it through, and I'm gonna see, what that contract is for the digital.
so you're possibly able to tell us how much it costs to pull out as well?
I
Because if we don't,
I can give you a rough
if we know
estimate.
how many boxes there are, we can
Right.
see how much.
So based
box,
on
yeah,
what's
the
in there now, which is close to 25 to 26,000 cubic feet, I think, is an estimate, but it's me upwards there. And what they charge us to pull out, even to move it to a new facility, is gonna be upwards of $150,000 to move it.
Which we knew, I mean,
And it's gonna be a couple dollars less to destroy than move, but you're still gonna be upwards of that even to destroy. A lot of the stuff there is permanent, like assessment records, planetary, most of the planetary has there is all
probably
permanent
register
records.
wheel stuff.
Gonna make recommendations to some of them, like they're mixing stuff that can be shredded with permanent. So if they can be smart in the future and like putting stuff together that's permanent that stays, or stuff that can be shredded,
In so
marking
many
destroy
years.
date, then we can actually destroy things and not have to keep boxes because it's mixed together. So trying to put together that's gonna take a while, but hopefully moving forward, and as you guys find a place, we can come up with better procedures for what we keep, what we have to move, and then get an idea for you guys budgeting wise, what it's actually gonna cost us.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things Commissioner Manning said, to look for a facility or somewhere temporary, just to see what we have and start, if we have to destroy it ourselves with the shred truck, whatever it may be, and then look for a more permanent home in a couple of years, or just see what we have.
Marie, what is it, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years indefinitely?
It's some of them are 20 and then permanent. But there's some that can be destroyed in 2. Most of them are 5 to 7 for financial. Some of the ones are hard for the clerk of courts or the jail, because it's like, the jail is after they're done being in jail, right? Then you have to keep them for 10 years. So like, how do you?
Yeah, they might go back in.
Right, or like the clerk of courts has one 10 years after their case is done or their payouts are done. Okay, so those things are hard to track, which is probably why we keep them permanently. But we can have discussions with those departments to see if moving forward, like if they're 80 years old, things like that. CYS was good. CYS had in there their notes. They said destroy 2021, destroy 2022. So you can put the description and know very easily when to destroy. So things like that just help.
The state has a guideline of what they recommend on how long to store various documents. I don't know if you see, I can get that over to you if you have it. I can work with you with the various departments, that way they can go through. It's pretty extensive.
Well, that's
What
the
the state
record
has.
retention book.
Right.
Yeah, I have that one.
Okay.
Some of them though are like per the agency's laws.
Right.
I don't know those. The other one is, which I'm gonna come to you guys, we have a lot of Friendship Bridge files. Do we have to keep those permanently? Like,
Probably see what the files, what the
So that's-
There's a lot of HR,
well,
Right.
there's a lot of
Tell me.
precedents too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the HR ones, which are terminations and stuff, deaths are different, but terminations, because we rehire so much, we can't really get rid of terminations unless they're, stuff like that. But the Friendship Bridge files are all like case files, medical files, things like that. How long do we have to keep those
Oh,
things?
yeah.
There's lots of those.
Garen, you got that?
So
What's up?
There are a lot of medical files. How long-
Yeah, we'll have to look and see
Okay.
what.
some of them, and that says it in the book, but I'll have a list of those, but that working through it's gonna take a while, there's a lot of them there.
Yeah.
But at least you guys are working on trying to work through that, and we'll have, I'll keep you updated.
Are you getting, responses back fairly?
I have not sent it out, yet. I'm still going through.
Oh, you're gonna put, okay, I know
Yeah.
how
I'm
they
gonna,
were
I'm gonna
answering.
group it by department and send it to the department head or the elected, and say, here's what you have in the minds, here's what I see is you're allowed to keep, or you have to talk, and you please review, and, we can read or whatever, and see what they say.
but I think we've told everybody not to send anything new to the mines. And then we'll start moving stuff out of here as soon as we
And
can.
some other things, like people are saying the same things, like treasurer has retirement files that we keep permanently, right? So like, duplicates, or CYS keeps invoices and contracts and stuff like
Which you
that,
have
that we keep permanently. So just send stuff to the mines like that is just a duplicate.
Yeah, we-
So we just have to look for things like that.
Yeah, some of that was historic, because we don't do retirement,
Right.
but I found it even in our office. I was thinking, we had looked at this stuff about a year or two ago, and there were things in there we thought that it hits a point where it's historic. Like, there's stuff from the 1800s, and so under the treasure, and I'd like to know where that line is. How much do you keep that you are not allowed to get rid of because of the historical value?
Yeah, I know the recorder of deeds has stuff that goes way back, and I agree with you, some of that may not want
I think deeds are for.
to destroy, but.
Aren't they?
Yeah, I think these are some of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, we're gonna do that.
Any other department head report?
You know what, if I could just one more, just to touch, Controller Long brought up a good point before the meeting started. We're having a quick conversation with her. You know, the county, you guys have invested a lot of money in the past couple of years in the heating and air conditioning system here at the courthouse. Obviously, yesterday we had a failure. I have not had an opportunity to talk to the guys yet to find out exactly what that was. But I will be reaching out to Reno Brothers and Constellation. I mean, I know there's a lot of elements to the heating, stuff like that. I know we changed a lot, but I don't know what else is left to change and why we continue to have heat failures. So I will be looking into that.
And we're waiting for a part or something to repair one from the court yesterday or
And
something.
again, I haven't talked to my folks. That's what Controller Longo told me too, that we were told we're waiting on a part. I don't know what that part is.
Okay.
I'll look into that, but.
All right. Any other department report? Hearing none. Solicitor?
27 resolutions are on the agenda for tomorrow. 2 through 8 are various community development resolutions. Most of them are extensions or corrections, except for number 6, which is a update on the playground, the roof playground in Beaver Falls. Number 14, 15, 16, and 27 are all various HR policies, a new PTO policy, the vision plan for employees, and also number 27 is what we've been talking about recently due to the fire over at the Human Services Building. It's a policy effectively banning electronic heaters here in any county facilities. Number 18 is through the rec department. It's a visitor tracker that tracks cell phone data to determine visitors coming into the county for various events. Number 19 is for the sheriff's department to purchase 2 Ford Explorers. And then number 21 and 22 is for firefighter sales to do maintenance on our fire extinguishers, sprinklers, and alarm systems throughout our buildings. And I do not have anything further.
Any questions for the solicitor's office?
Just a question, I hadn't thought about it. I know the policy for the space heaters says no outlet, no extension cords, which means any electrical ones banned. Are there battery ones or something that we need to address that could cause a problem? I don't know if there are any. of that.
We just looked at that this morning. I'm not certain there are battery ones that are out there. We did about a 5-minute search to see if there are battery heaters, and we couldn't find any online.
But there's battery fans for the summer. There's battery operated fans.
Yeah, I mean, this policy is just strictly plug in. So I mean, to the extent that there's someone brings in a battery fan or if there's a battery heater.
Yeah, the battery
Oh, yeah.
fans don't have the heat that'll catch fire if it falls over, right?
Right,
It's just a
right.
fan. A battery heater, if it has a hot coil, could hit a paper and burn.
Right, and I think this policy doesn't say this, but I hope common sense would prevail. Propane would also not be permitted. So if someone tries to bring in a propane heater, that's something, that's not gonna fly either.
I know we all laugh about it, but believe me.
Somebody will.
That's right, somebody will test us.
Really?
Electric ceramic heaters don't have that, they're actually able to be hot and cold, and they don't have a hot, they're not like those ones that have the coils on them,
That's good.
but they're still plug-in.
People need to understand, okay, and I get it, and I sympathize, it's cold, especially around the windows and stuff like that. But anytime you try to use a heat supplement or even a cooling supplement, it interferes with the proper operations of the heating system and the air conditioning system in that particular building.
The thermostat.
Okay, so it messes with the thermostats. So if, and I know this is common sense, but I'm gonna say it, if you have a space heater in your office and it's close, like it's in here, and the space heater is close to that thermostat is registering that heat from that artificial heat supply. And it's, oh, I'm nice and warm and toasty here, I don't have to send a notice to the boiler system or whatever to provide heat. So while your cubicle or office space is nice and warm, everyone else is out there freezing because there's no call for heat or cool. So that's the problem with.
And that's how you end up with every cubicle having a heater.
I was just thinking about that, and I agree, believe me, I was 10 years in an office like that where people were doing that to me. But I think of our windows, it's like this room here, and our thermostat is over in the wall by me on the inside interior, and they're cold. And you're looking at these spaces that you could heat up with these types of space heater things, that wouldn't hit the thermostat. I was wondering if you would think about that with some of these bigger offices with large windows, like the treasurer's office. Consider, they're cold on that side end, with all those windows, they leak. They're not-
Yeah, ours
they're
leak
not
too,
good
yeah.
windows.
I'm sure yours did too.
So just from my windowsill to my desk, which is about that far away, is a 5-degree temperature change with a little thermometer I have on my desk. So I get it. That's why I dress appropriately when I come in.
Words of wisdom from Eric, put another jacket on.
You can always take it off, right, bro? Extra layer.
Any other questions for the solicitor's office? We'll move to the board of commissioners.
Nothing today. Nothing today. So, just, Eric, were there any unusual events that occurred? I didn't see anything from the extreme cold or anything.
10 o'clock this morning. Nothing as of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, the usual.
Okay. What's
We
our
had a
record
water
load?
break, couple water breaks, but because of obviously freezing.
I did see a bunch of cars at the hazmat building this morning.
That's EFU training.
Oh, okay.
And tonight's hazmat training, so
I started to panic when I drove by. It was like,
just training day.
good enough, thanks.
What's our record lower in this
Oh, I
region?
don't know.
You know?
No, I think that's going back and forth. We're on a chat with meteorologists.
I thought it was like in the -20s at one point, like, or,
Like at the Megan?
Yeah, there's the temperature and there's wind chill.
Right.
It does factor in.
Yeah.
It's cold.
I know our house in Chippewa was -12, and we've had -16 before there. We have a little porch outdoor thermometer, so didn't hit the coldest since I've been here 25 years, but it's,
My dog's paws.
Pretty damn close.
The sensitivity of how cold it is, because they don't want to be out there.
I did not want to leave the porch this morning.
Polar plunge is Saturday.
Yeah.
I
The
think-
sad thing is, by the time that the snow shovel comes, it'll probably be 40 and no snow, right?
We'll do mud.
Yeah.
It'll be mud. Somebody said there are some concerns about being able to break the ice up there. So depending on how thick that ice gets, the polar plunge.
Yeah, Saturday could be challenging.
I'm sure they could break if they really wanted to, but I know there's some,
I think you just walk out on the ice, that would be fun, right? Just put a pole.
dude, the Brady's run, it's thick enough.
Sure, they've had to break it before, chipping out of there, which is another reason why you'll never see me jump. I'll be there cheering them on, but I'm not.
Any other,
That's it.
nothing, Commissioner, anything else? All right, we'll move to other business, any other business? Audience participation. Andy?
Hi, Andy Grace, Center Township. I just wanted to ask a question about some of the warming centers that have been, since we're talking about the cold weather, that have been open throughout the county. And if there's, I guess there's two questions. One, is there information available to the public or at least a resource that we could access that identifies how many people are utilizing the existing warming shelters? And is there a plan, and this cold weather is going to break, it won't last forever, but is there a plan for, I guess maybe like emergency or additional warming centers, like that get activated in tiers based on like how cold it gets or how long the cold snap lasts? That was a lot, so.
Yeah, I mean, the continuum of care tracks all that, tracks the homeless, tracks all those folks out of community development, and the cornerstone obviously is a big part of emergency housing, temporary housing, the homeless, the men's shelter and the like. They might have more information. We haven't been provided with anything proactively that say these shut. But I know that that's happened before with some of the extreme conditions, the YMCA, Center of Hope in Conway, and some others have opened up when necessary. But I haven't seen anything else, Andy.
We could reach out and have numbers for next week, just, it'll be like a week after, just to see roughly how many residents that, had to go to a warming center.
I think that would, yeah, that would be super, or if even, like, you can direct me where I can get that information, just because I know that there's been a couple of
Continuing
questions
care,
from the
Dina.
public.
Yeah, Dina sent that.
We'll get you her information.
Okay, super, I'll follow up with you guys.
But I know that I'm pretty sure they track all that.
Any other audience participation? Right, I might have missed the executive session.
I don't have any others on this session.
Tammy? All right. So I think it's the first time in
Very good.
10 years, 9 years. All right, meeting adjourned.
That might be the third time since.
Really?
That's 5 years.
I don't remember.
It's not